Hi, guys. Welcome by the new episode of the podcast No More Secrets, where I share my journey from recovery and, yeah, the ups and downs. And today I wanted to talk about a little bit about my past, about how when I got addicted and about relapsing. I didn't relapse. And I'm very proud of that because, yeah, I had some challenges the last couple of months. I'm now almost 9 months sober. On the 24th, I'm 9 months. And yeah, what a life changing event this is. Whoa. All the feelings that you feel, that you always numbed, and I really didn't even know all the names from feelings. So when I quit my my addiction, I was addicted to a lot of drugs and medications. The fentanyl, the oxys, the benzos, cocaine, liquor, cannabis, cigarettes, name it. And yeah, so I quit them cold turkey 9 months ago, almost 9 months, and yeah, then you get feelings, Then you have to experience life without any fog in your head, and yeah, it was a really really tough journey. Still sometimes because of course I struggle, but I don't quit. I persevere and I will keep going because yeah, what I said, it's a life changing event, and I grow so much, and I have a purpose now. Because when you quit, it's very important to think about what your purpose is, so you're not staying in the same mood that you're still in. And yeah, so my purpose is to, how do you say that right, to inspire you all, and yeah, to give you hope that recovery is possible, because it's possible. And you have to do a lot of things for it. You can you cannot decide one day, okay, I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna do nothing about the reason why I was addicted, because 95% of the people there are addicted. They're addicted because they had a lot of tough experience, a lot of tough things in their life. Yeah, you have to heal from them. You really have to heal. And yeah, if you feel, you heal. And that's my really, really big experience from the last 9 months. And I'm getting stronger every day. And you never stop healing and you never stop growing. And you need to do the things you have to do. Like, for example, yesterday evening, I had a really big, strong craving, really big. And in the when I have a craving, in the moment, I'm gonna sit with it and I'm gonna think, okay, where is this coming from? Why do I have such a big craving at the moment? And then I remember that last week I had some struggles with a loved one, and uh, yeah, I had a bad experience with a man, and yeah, I think that was the trigger. And at that moment when it happened, that's why I know I've grown so much. I can handle it. I can handle it. I wasn't scared. I wasn't feeling a victim. I wasn't. With my loved one, I was sad, of course, because yeah, it's not a nice feeling to be rejected. But in the past, I would drown in that sadness. I would stay in that sadness for days or weeks, and now I'm not. Now I feel it, and the same evening I slept very good without medications. So yeah, that's such a win, and I conquer so much. But still, it was in my system. So yesterday, so and it was in my head. The craving was in my head, so it was not in my body because that I experienced that also one time. I didn't even know that you can feel a craving in your body as well, but now it was totally in my head. And yeah, so I was thinking, okay, what can I do? I wasn't able to go to a meeting, so I searched online for a meeting. I was just too late, and yeah, so I thought, okay, change your environment at this moment. So I picked up my dogs and went to a park and walked there. I walked there for I think an hour or 1 hour and 50 minutes, something like that, and it went away. I did a share on my TikTok. That also helps if you talk about it. So if you can call somebody, or you can call the NA Anonymous or something like that. But I want to do more of my new habits that I have learned myself and I've learned in recovery. Uh, so I went into park and I came home and it was like, yay! Yay, it's gone. And wow, so no relapse. But a relapse is always around the corner and it's a really thin line we're walking on. And yeah, for if I can explain it a little bit for myself, I think it's like a um, when you got addicted, you sent it and you planted a seed in your system. You planted a seed and you watered it daily, 3 times a day, once a week, 2 times a week with your substance. And so it grows. So it's like a tree that grows in you. So it's a really, really big tree when you go in recovery. So when you have a craving and only if you give it one time more some water, it's activated again. So yeah, please, when you have a craving, do the things that are necessary to do. Change your environment, go outside. Um, for example, when I was still in my addiction, I always had when I called a dealer or something. I always had kind of specific things I did. I was in drawers searching to things on my phone, searching for numbers. Went to the supermarket to buy alcohol. So always the same things. So when I have a craving and I notice that I'm going to start searching for something, that now I'm so aware that it's my addiction voice that is shouting, yes, you have to call a dealer, or yes, keep searching, because that is my usual way when I was still in addiction. But I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, so change your environment, call somebody, go to a meeting, because for me meetings, yeah, I love going to meetings, because when I don't feel like going to a meeting and I went and because even if you don't want to do something, you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway, because at that moment when you don't feel like it, and your brain is programmed to run, to escape. But if you go through it, wow, your brain is in a survival modus, but in this case it's the wrong survival modus. So yeah, do it. I always do it. So then I drive to the meeting and I think, shit, I really don't want to go. And then I'm sitting there and then somebody shares something. And then when I drive home back home again, I'm I'm thinking to myself, shit, it was exactly what I needed to hear. And yeah, so for me, meetings are yeah, very inspiring and very helpful and empowering. Yeah, so yeah, about the relapse, so I didn't do it and I'm so so happy, because 9 months, I don't want to throw that away. And in my case, yeah, for me, it isn't possible to ever drink again or to think by myself. I can do it only one time, only this day, because I earned it. I earned it. I worked so hard, so I earned a glass of red wine. I earned a sniff of coke. I earned my fentanyl, because I want to relax. Or when I was tense, then the band-aids, the fentanyl band-aids, I put on. You're only supposed to put on one for 3 days, and I put four on me. And next day, I removed one and I put another one, and I took a lot of oxy with it, and yeah, it was terrible, terrible. But I was addicted from the age of 13, and yeah, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a cold, but yeah, and I was 13 years. I lived on the streets because I couldn't go, yeah, to my family. Didn't grow up in a really safe home. And yeah, so at the age of 13, I discovered ecstasy. And yeah, I'm that kind of person that's all external substances that make my brain feel a certain way. I'm addicted right away, So yeah, so it began with ecstasy and speed. Yeah, because I lived on the streets with my first boyfriend, and he was also a runaway from his home. And yeah, and we had to do some bad things, things I'm not proud of, to survive on the streets. And that is also a really unsafe environment, and especially for a 13, 14-year-old girl that had to be a grown up at that age. So yeah, drugs was my escape route. And yeah, at the age of 16, I met my first really serious relation. And yeah, with him, it was also always 4 days a week using drugs. And then you took 2 days off to recover. And then when you felt good, you thought, okay, we can go further where we stopped. Yeah, but I didn't drink alcohol at that age because I had a really bad experience with alcohol at the age of 13. And I think my brain unconsciously said, no alcohol for you. So, yeah, under pressure when I was 24, my ex said, yeah, it's not nice that you don't drink and you have to drink. And so I took a glass of wine. Well, the rest is history. And because the combination, with everything. And yeah, so that's a little bit how my story started. And at the age of 19, I had to go to the doctor for my shoulder because my shoulder is totally fucked up. There's no bone marrow in it anymore, and yeah, the muscles and yeah, they are not good anymore, and so I need a new shoulder. So I was always very much in pain, and so I got a subscription from the GP for fentanyl and for oxycodone, and you're not supposed to use that the rest of your life, but my doctor didn't care, I think. So that's really also a topic, another topic, because you get it so easily. And well, in my case, then, and so my first surgery I had at the age of 21. I had another 6 surgeries. So yeah, in my mind, well, it was my addiction, of course. I said to myself, literally, I cannot exist without those medications because otherwise I can't handle the pain. Well, I'm doing it now for 9 months without anything. So everything is possible, people. Everything. Never forget that, really. And I'm fucking living proof of it. Um, Yeah, so then I got addicted to that also. And throughout my life, I always said that, and that's such a strange thing, because for me the forbidden drugs was cocaine. I really didn't like it. I saw a lot of bad things. I've seen a lot of bad things um, that cocaine creates with people, the change, the behaviors from people. So I never did that, and until a few years ago I went through a really, really tough time, and I couldn't sleep anymore, even with all my medications. So I took more medications, of course, and I couldn't sleep anymore. And then, yeah, I had to be awake in the day. So I thought, well, you know what? I try it. Maybe it helps. I don't. I till this day, I really don't know I um, if it was my addiction that wanted something else, or it was a really conscious decision. Yeah. Well, I will find the answer in for that, but doesn't matter. Hence why yeah, I did it one time, and yes, it helped me awake. And yes, my brain was right away, yeehaw. And so then I started, with one bag, I did it with for 4 or 5 days, and in a month, I did it every day for 3.5 years. And yeah, one bag for a few days wasn't enough anymore. And yeah, that totally changed everything. So, sometimes I think, okay, I'm so grateful I did that, because otherwise I had never hit rock bottom, and I was never going. I wasn't in recovery now, so it was also a lifesaver. And if I didn't had done it, I really don't know if I were still here, because the mental pain that I felt was too much. It was really too much. I couldn't handle it. So that was my only survival, literally survival package. As stupid it sounds, but it's true. So, and when I hit rock bottom last year, because at one point your body and your mind, you can't handle it anymore. Yeah, that was for me that the point that I said enough is enough. I'm going to quit now. But nobody in my environment knew that I was so strongly addicted to cocaine also. And I was so ashamed. I felt so guilty. I felt like the biggest loser on earth, a wordless mom. Yeah, all the negative self-talk and the non-beliefs I told myself. Yeah, it was so much. But still I thought I have to do it. So yeah, so I quit cold turkey with everything, because also with cigarettes, because I thought, that's also a really heavy addiction. I smoked also from the age of 13 a package a day, and if I'm going through the motions now, then it's better to go through the motions in one time, and not when I'm feeling maybe stronger. Then I have to cut another addiction. So I did it all in once, and it was so fucking tough, and also very tough because I couldn't share it with anybody. I told myself that I couldn't share it with anybody. So I was only watching podcasts about addiction, programs, searching everything on the Google, and yeah, so that helped me to stay strong, and to not give up and to not relapse. Because when I heard other people in podcasts telling their story, that really inspired me. That's the reason why I decided I wanted to do a podcast as well. And yeah, so then in January, I was already in recovery, and I started in December last year. I started a coaching program, a 20-week coaching program with a life coach. And that was really also my lifesaver because, yeah, I healed so much in that program and, yeah, mind blowing. But I still had the secret of the cocaine and the and that it was more worse than I told everybody. So in January, I went to a seminar. It was about NLP, neuro linguistics, linguistics programming, and it was 3 days. It was my first time ever in my life going to a seminar. And yeah, there were 1,200 people there. And at one point, the last day, the speaker of the event came to me and asked me if I wanted to share my story on the stage. And I was, what the fuck? Oh my God. But also, a voice in my mind said, this is your chance to be true, to be truthful to yourself. And because, in my coaching, I learned when you speak the truth, it will set you free. But I was still too much in shame and felt too guilty and to do that. But yeah, at that moment, I switched the button in my head and I went on stage and I told 1,200 people that I've never saw in my whole life uh, that I was recovering from an addiction from 35 years because I was addicted for 35 years and that they were the first people I told it to. And, it was so powerful. So I was shaking like this and my mic was going like that. And then they all stood up and they went clapping for me. And the speaker said, "Open your arms and receive the energy." And oh, I get good goosebumps now from telling it. And yeah, so that was my first time I told anybody how bad it was. And yeah, from that moment on, I was unstoppable because if I was brave enough, courageous enough to tell it to 1,200 people, then I would be courageous enough also to tell it to my environment. And so I did, and, and that wasn't easy, of course. If you tell your children something like that, and we're still healing, we're still recovering, and that's normal. And yeah, I need to be patient. I can't resolve everything in those in the last few months. So because it's May now, so it's only just 5 months that I really revealed it to the outside world. And so in February, I decided to do the podcast, and yeah, people, this helps me a lot too, really, because sharing your story and the comments, the private messages I got and get from people that cheering me on, or from people that want to know more about how I did it, everything. Yeah, that is so. Yeah, I'm so grateful for that. So grateful that I turned those negative the negative addiction around in helping people, and never could have imagined that. So yeah, recovery is a beautiful thing. It's tough, but it's a beautiful thing. So guys, I hope you got to know me a little bit better now. If you have questions or want to know something, you can send me an email, you can send me a DM, or oh, one last thing. Yeah, that is what I wanted to share also, because about telling your truth. There was only one thing that was holding me back, and that was doing a Dutch version of my podcast or sharing on social media um, uh, Dutch, my story in Dutch, because I'm from the Netherlands. Of course, you can hear that English is not my first language, but I'm doing my best. But doing it in Dutch, in yeah, that was so vulnerable, and I did it now. So also one obstacle I overcame, and I did it in Dutch. I'm also going to do a Dutch podcast. Um, I don't know if there are Dutch people listening now, but if they're listening, let me know how you feel about that. If you would like to hear it in Dutch, or you think I love it in English, I'm curious about it, please tell me. And yeah, if you want to know more, if you want to connect with me, yeah, what I do, how I change my thinking, how I'm able to stay so positive and yeah, and have positive energy. Let me know. I'm here for you. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. And if you liked my episodes, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me to keep going on my journey. So, yeah, I want to make it totally professional. I'm going to study again, and because I want to know everything about addiction, I want to know everything what's happening in your mind, in your body, everything. So, yeah, I want to do it professionally. So, guys, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed it. And I wish you, of course, all a really, really, really nice week. A sober and clean week, I hope. If you're still in your addiction, know that you can choose always to quit. Go in rehab, go in recovery, go to your doctor, talk with somebody, doesn't matter who, but don't hide it. That's why why my podcast has the name No More Secrets, because yeah, I also live with the biggest secrets ever. So and if I can reveal it, you can also, because what I noticed is that of course there are people that judging you, but that are the people you don't want in your life. But most of the people are so warming, so loving, so accepting, so please don't be scared. And I know how it feels, but don't be scared, just do it. And never ever ever give up on yourself, never give up on your dreams, never give up on your life. And if you're going through a tough time, and you really you want to talk with somebody, let me know. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you for listening, and I see you on the next episodes. And bye bye. Big hug.